Virat Kohli deciding to pull off the plug on his 14-year-long test career does come as a massive surprise. At the end of 123 test matches, 47 average, about 700 odd runs short of the magical 10,000 figure mark, what most fans are asking at the moment is, why now? What was the need for him to take this call? And why is it a surprise? For few reasons. Namely, one, as I mentioned, he's so close to the 10,000 club. Two, he played the Ranji Trophy game after all the test matches were done, played a Ranji Trophy game in Delhi, and that possibly could be only because he still sees a future in test match cricket, because the BCCI made it mandatory for everyone who wants to be available for test match cricket needs to play a first class game. He played that as well. Clearly, there were thoughts of him continuing in test cricket. Now, as it has also emerged, he had spoken to a lot of people close to him that he's looking forward to the England tour. Sarandeep Singh, who was the coach of the Delhi team while he was playing the Ranji match, says that Virat told him, I'm looking forward to the England tour. I'm going to score a century or two in that England tour. With all this in mind, when he's so close to even 10,000 runs, where he's often said that he loves test cricket, he's at a stage where fitness is not even a concern for him. He's 36. Sunil Gavaskar played till 38. Sachin Tendulkar went on to play till he was 40. Virat Kohli at 36 clearly did seem to have many things going for him to have continued in test cricket. Despite that, why is it that Virat has called time on his career? And I think that is the moot question. For that, you will have to take a look at the journey. And now it can be very well established that even though the decision of retirement rests with the player and he's taken a call, there may have been nudge from the BCCI. So this is how all things panned out. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma both were spoken to by the chairman of selectors in Australia. AajTak was there on tour and he did speak to the two senior players to apprise them about the concerns that the BCCI might have when it comes to their form. And now, if you remember, it was a year and a half since Rohit wasn't really firing. For Virat, it had been a period of 5 years where he had had just 3 centuries. Last 3 odd years, his average had really dipped, averaging around the 32 mark, which is well below the standard of not just Virat Kohli, standard required to be a top-level test batter. So these concerns were communicated to both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, and it's not a coincidence that both of them have now decided to retire from test cricket. Now that was a conversation then. What I believe that Rohit Sharma at that moment had decided that he will let go of test cricket, but then came the Champions Trophy, he did well, and he thought that maybe it will open up a chance for him then to be playing test cricket in England, considering the success that you had in white ball. However, it was communicated to Rohit Sharma that even if he wants to continue, he is going to be under scrutiny, being looked at in England, and there could be a scenario if runs don't come in 2 or 3 test matches, you would have been forced to make him sit on the bench and then go with some younger players for the rest of the series. Also the captaincy, the BCCI had decided, they'd made up their mind that they're going to go in with a newer captain starting from the England series. Clearly these factors did play a role in Rohit Sharma first deciding to announce his retirement. Let's turn our attention to Virat Kohli. As I mentioned, the conversation was also had with Virat Kohli in Australia. What I believe, it wasn't really easy for Virat Kohli to digest that he had reached a stage where Indian cricket was thinking of going past him in test matches. I think it did come as a surprise to Virat Kohli, who still thought he had plenty to contribute. Having said that, I don't think he had made up his mind to retire at that time. Knowing Virat and the fiery character that he is, he loves challenges. He's always found a way to come back, from those challenging times. So I think he fired himself for the England tour. Then comes the second rounds of conversations that were had with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. As I mentioned, the second round of conversation did push Rohit Sharma to make a decision about his retirement. Don't think because Virat's retirement has been announced after Rohit Sharma, means that he decided to retire after Rohit's announcement. As far as I learned, and something that we had reported on Sports Today as well, for about week 10 days ago, we had first learned that Virat Kohli had told the powers that be that he is not keen to be touring England, that he is reluctant to be touring England. At that time, there was also conversation where earlier he had suggested that if you are going to be looking beyond Rohit Sharma as captain, Virat, what I believe, what I've learned, was more than happy to put his hand up and contribute as a captain itself if the Indian team so desired. This is something that was expressed recently ahead of the conversation for that England tour. However, as I said, just as Rohit Sharma was told by the selectors as well as in consultation with the coach that no, they're looking at a newer captain, I think that is something that was communicated to Virat as well, that they're not looking even at a stop-go arrangement and they will have a new captain going forward. That may have been one other reason that would have helped Virat make up his mind. But I think the secondary reason and the most important reason here was that I think he also was told that his form is going to be under scrutiny and that he is not beyond being dropped as well if runs don't come from his bat. I think that is a position that Virat himself wasn't very comfortable with, and then that is when he conveyed his decision that he does not want to tour England and he does not see himself playing Test cricket beyond that. After which there were efforts made from within the BCCI to speak with him and try and tell him that, listen, while his form is under scrutiny, but they don't see this as an end of his career, why doesn't he give it one last shot? Why doesn't he try and play in England? And maybe the fortunes might turn for him. But after careful consideration, after weighing in the entire situation and what the situation could be had runs not come from his bat, he may have had to go through an embarrassing position of being dropped as well. I think all those played a major factor in Virat Kohli then deciding to hang up his boots in Test cricket. So don't be fooled at all. It is not just a decision based on lack of motivation. It is now very well established that Virat's decision to let go of Test cricket has also come about because of the nudge from the BCCI, and it's may have been a combination of what the selectors are thinking as well as what the coach was thinking at the moment, after which he's decided. Now, many people may argue that, why would you need to have a conversation like this? Why would you want to put senior players under pressure? I think it all boils down to the time where BCCI and the selectors came under the criticism that you dropped well-known names without consulting them, without telling them. And I think this is something that everyone agreed with in and around Indian cricket, that for senior players, for very established players that have played, upwards of 50, 60, 80 test matches, I think you need to let them know what the situation is, rather than just one day announcing a team and they find that their names are not there. And I think that's exactly what the BCCI followed. That is exactly what the selectors followed, and let these senior players know of what situation they are at and how the selectors are viewing them at the moment. And I think that has helped them get clarity. You wouldn't want to be in a situation where you're embarrassed suddenly without you even knowing you're dropped from the team. So they were made aware of the situation. It was still their call. They could have continued. England would have been the litmus test. But I think based on the situation, the players themselves, especially Virat Kohli, did not see the need in him continuing. He's also spoken very recently about the motivation in continuing to play, and that is well within his right. If he felt that his position in the team is being questioned, something that he doesn't deserve, he's well within his rights then to take a call and have an honorable exit. And I think that's exactly what Virat Kohli has done. That was the entire lowdown as to how this entire saga of Virat Kohli, his Test cricket future has unfolded. Where we stand right now, it does seem a bit surprising that you've had players like Ashwin, Rohit, Virat all leave Test cricket in a matter of few months. This is indeed a transitional phase. How Indian cricket goes from here, only time will tell. But this is also the reality of Test match cricket. Who would have thought people who had been let go by Indian cricket in an Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, that they wouldn't have retired, and players like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli would have retired ahead of a Pujara and a Rahane. Of course, these players still are available for selection in the ODI format, and as things stand right now, you are most likely to see them play the 2027 ODI World Cup. From there on, what the future holds for them, time will only tell. Do give us a like on the video if you're enjoying our content, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.